This lesson is going to be about the percent equation and how to use an equation to either find the percent, the part, or the whole of a number. So the percent of a number. Of is an important word. It means, in most cases, multiplication, especially when we're talking about these percent problems. So when I say 1/2 of 10, we know right away that that's 5. But if you think about what we're doing, we are taking 1/2, we are multiplying by 10 or 10 over 1, which gives us 10 over 2 or 5. So that of, I'm just showing you how that of is working as multiplication. We know what 1/2 of 10 is right off the bat, but I just wanted to show you how the multiplication works. And we can use that same logic with percent problems. So if we have 10% of 35, the first thing that we need to do is we need to put this in number form, a number that we can plug into our calculator. So 10% is 0.10. Again, of means that multiplication of 35, and we can plug that into our calculator or do it in our head. We get 3.5. So 10% of 35 is 3.5. 160% of 20. 160%, so we're going to turn that into a decimal or a number we can plug into our calculator. It's 1.60. Remember, that's 160 over 100. Of means times 20. And when we do that, plug that into your calculator, you get 32. So let's go back to this first one right here. 10% of 35 is 3.5. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this into a sentence here. I can say, turn it around, 3.5 is 10% of 35. My 3.5 right here, this is the part. This is the part. 10% is obviously the percent. And then 35 is the whole thing. So 3.5 is part of 35. It happens to be 10% of that. What we can do is we can turn this into an equation. So 3.5, I won't do 3.5. I'll do part. The part is, and the symbol that we use in math a lot of times when we're talking about is equals. Part is your percent. Remember, of means times whole. And that, my friends, is the percent equation. Part equals percent times whole. The only thing I want you to note here is I want you to remember to write the percent as a decimal or a fraction. That's going to be important when you're plugging these numbers into an equation itself. You're going to need that percent as a decimal or a fraction. So I'm going to give you 3 examples of problems, and what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to figure out which is the part, which is the percent, and which is the whole. In these types of problems, you're going to be given 2, and you're going to have to find the third. Either you're given the part and the percent, and you have to find the whole. You might be given the part and the whole and have to find the percent, or you're given the percent and whole and have to find the part. Hopefully I said those right, but you should get what I mean. So the first one, what number is 12% of 50? The very first thing that I do is I start with the percent because it's usually the easiest one to pick out. We're going to use n as our variable for percent. We're going to use p for part and w for whole. So the question is 50. Is that the part or is that the whole? When you see of 50, if I wanted to have 3 pieces of the whole pizza, a lot of times when we talk, we use of to indicate the whole. So that is one little nice indicator that 50 is going to be the whole. And you're looking for the part. We don't know what the part is here. So with our equation, part equals percent times whole, I am going to leave P for our variable for part. N, we know the percent, it's 12%. Remember, we have to write it as a decimal. And then we know our whole is 50. So when we plug this into our equation, or our calculator, we're going to get 12 hundredths times 50, and we're going to get 6 as our whole. So our answer here is 6. The part is 6. So 6 is 12% of 50. The next one, 21, is what percent of 40? And again, I like to start with the percent. What helps me indicate what we're looking for? We're looking for the percent this time. And now we need to figure out 21, is that the part or the whole? 40, is that the part or the whole? Again, there's that word of, so we know that our whole is going to be 40. A lot of times is also used to indicate part, so our part here is 21. So when we do our equation, part equals percent times whole. This time, I know my part is 21. We're looking for the percent, and my whole is 40. So now I have this equation here. I can divide both sides, not 44, 40. I can divide both sides of my equation by 40 because that cancels those out. 21 divided by 40 is 0.525. And now remember, this is a decimal. We want to put it back in percent form. We need to multiply it by 100 to get that percent back. So this is 52.5% as my answer. The last scenario, we have 13 is 26%. So this is my part. That is helps me figure that out. My percent is 26. And then of what number, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the whole in this case. So again, my equation, part equals percent times whole. My part is 13. My percent is 26. Remember, I have to write it as a decimal. And we're looking for the whole. Again, we have an equation. We're going to divide both sides by 0.26 because it cancels those out. And we're left with our whole is equal to 50. So that's how you use the percent equation.